Hi, I'm Marco. I'm a second-year psychiatry resident here in Germany, and I was once a med student studying in Romania. And from my colleagues, I would often hear that they're going to use their degree to either return home to their countries and be doctors there, or that they'd like to emigrate to a third country. Here's some things you should keep in mind when choosing the country that you're going to immigrate to. When choosing a different country to emigrate to, you should always keep in mind the language requirements that you need for that country. If you already meet said requirements, great. It's one step out of the way. If not, you have to see how difficult or not that language is to learn. I personally had to learn German, for example, to be able to work here in Germany, but you might not need to. I could have chosen to move to a country where English is the first language or French, but I chose to learn German because the other benefits that are associated with Germany are way better. So you've chosen your country, great. Now you have to see if you need an entrance exam. Certain countries like France, for example, you need an exam, or you need to pass an exam, or you need to sit an exam in order to be able to then practice as a resident. A country like Germany does not require an entrance exam in order to practice as a resident. You need to pass a language proficiency test, but then besides that, you have your probation period at work, which if you're not up to the task, you will then get kicked out. If not, you're in. That's simple as that. You should also interest yourself to see if you need any sort of special documents or visas in order to move to said country. I'm privileged enough to have been or to be a Romanian citizen, and through that I was able to come to Germany without the need of a visa. But if you choose Germany, you might be able to get by with a language learning visa or something similar to that. But then again, your mileage may vary. So you've chosen your country, you know exactly where you want to go, you're prepared to learn the language or not. What do you do next? Well, you have to compare. What are the working conditions like? How many hours a week do you work? In Germany, for example, this year, our working hours were reduced to 40 hours a week. That means that we, on average, need to work around 30 minutes less every single day. Then again, I've read many articles stating that that's not really the case, that is often not the case. I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to work at a clinic where that's respected. Yeah, your mileage may vary. You should also see what's important to you in the sense of compensation and vacation. For me, that's something that's really important. I enjoy my vacation days and I find them an essential aspect to work. I gladly work, but I also gladly take my days off. Also played a reason as to why I'm so happily working here in Germany. I can get up to 34 days of vacation a year. For other countries, I'm not sure, but I'm very glad to have this opportunity here in Germany. Another pivotal aspect is your compensation. While we didn't go into medicine to earn money as our number one goal, it's a necessary aspect of living, and you have to see you're rightfully compensated to your expectations. So within a country like Germany, your pay might differ. You might get paid more, you might get paid less. There's a table with how much you get paid. I'll put it here, but this is dependent on the hospital you work at, because then your night shifts are compensated differently. So interest yourself and see. You could get vastly different earnings within the same state from two completely different hospitals. The last thing to consider is try it out. Message hospitals, see if you could go for a week and shadow a doctor, or you could follow someone around, or you can see what it's like, get a taste of the country or get a taste of the environment before you pull the trigger and go do it.